All right, you guys. Welcome to another live stream. Please share, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and we gotta get into this live. As you see, Trump is sending and signing massive of these executive orders. So you might want to say to yourself, well, what are these executive orders regarding? See, when the law is the Constitution never fits the black man and woman's needs. See, the devil, ever since he been here, has always been the enemy. And I've been crying all day to my people that have been mentally blind from birth. There are so many of our black voters today vote for a white man to run president. But I was under no illusion that Donald Trump would change. Because brothers and sisters, it's not in their nature. So I want to talk to you about the black man in America. Because the black man, for the first time since he had been in the Western hemisphere, is accepting himself as a black man and not as a color man today. Although we see this black man has been colored, now the black men have learned that the color was false and that the coloring came from a robber, the devil. And the devil himself, had put our black fathers asleep to the knowledge of their black self. See, the white man nearly destroyed all of the original color of us, and he added in his own color. Never have we, the black man, been so happy to be called black. See, the Bible teaches us that God will come in one day and God will choose us, the black people, to be his people. We did not know anything about the false color part that God had in mind to remove from us. But now God is here amongst us and he's teaching us the knowledge of our color. We love our own black color. And now we have learned that the color of our enemies has almost destroyed our original black. We are now waking up to the knowledge that black is the first color and the last color, if there be a last. And now that we have learned it, that the black is a better color, we want to be black. You just do not have a better color than black. Black looks good all the time. The beautiful part of black is that we love black. And since we now have the knowledge of the two colors, the black and the false color, we are separating the original black color from the false color so that we can preserve our own black color forever. The knowledge of the black self given to us by Him who knows us, we all should be happy and rejoicing to know that we, the black people, was never a wicked people until we followed the wicked one, the white man, at his wickedness. God had declared us, the black man, to be the righteous. And God made it plain to see why we are the righteous. We are from the righteous black people by nature, where the black man are the righteous by creation, and we cannot be other than righteous. It's the happy time of ours, the black man's life. It's the happy time of our life to learn who we are and to learn that who we are, the black people, is the best of people. How long has this black man been poisoned from this white man? I say this, brothers, to you. We are living in the shadow of death all day long. You see how this devil, he turned brothers against brothers? He turned the woman from the man in their home. See, we don't know our dumb selves. Because why? Because we have been introduced to this white man all our life. When the devil been a deceiver, a manipulator. See, this is why we live under the shadow of death. Now, we, the black lost found of our people here in America, live under a very shadow of death by ways of cowardly enemies. See, every one of us, the cowardly enemy, seeks our death one way or another. The cowardly enemy will not fight you as a brave man will fight you if they think that you will not fight back. See, they will still on you when you least expect an attack from them. We live under a shadow of death. We flee from the cowardly enemy, the devil of the South, seeking refuge in the same cowardly enemy, the brother in the North. See, the enemy, the devil of the South, follow us to the North to see that his brother in the North does not treat us any better than they did in the South. See, they seek police jobs so that they can beat and kill us who are trying to escape. So there's something that Trump doing with that executive order to continue to send police force and tasks. See, they don't care about our loyalty. This is why I said to the black men all day long, I'll be crying out. Because in their hearts, there's death against us. The black man in America. See, they seek to get us killed at any price. See, they don't care about our loyalty to them. See, in their hearts today, there's death for us, the black man in America. Today, they hold out promises to you only to deceive you. See, they know that Allah God is here offering us heaven at once. See, this is why God is here to deliver us. This is why He's in action. And since hell today is their appointed place, my brothers and sisters, they are trying to get us to go to hell with them on false promises. You gotta look. Some of y'all giving up today, man. It's why Jesus says, I will strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Some of y'all giving up today. Some of y'all are easily giving up today. Y'all giving up hope. Even though y'all know there's no future here in America, even though y'all see the Great Depression, some of y'all are just tired and giving up with life. You know, you're not the only one today to feel like that. Because I feel like that too. I feel like, I just want to throw in the towel. But you know what? God continued to work with me. He works through me to do this kind of special work. Now I want to tell you, I have told you before, believe it or let it alone now. Now we live under this very shadow of death all day long. You see, today, babies murdered. And today, you read and hear that white America is agreeing to kill unborn babies now. They have set up a law for it. This is the worst sin that you can agree on, to have your babies killed before its birth. See, where are you going to do that for? You tried to put out an uninformed story that you are getting to be too many people now. And we have to cut down the birth rates. Now, who needs to cut down the birth rates? See, the black people have no needs to cut down. See, they need to increase the birth rates. The earth and heaven around the earth are ours. Who is going to go hungry? Do you not read the past history of how the righteous are always the winners and victorious people? So will we be the winners and victorious people. Now seek some of this earth that you can call your own. Ask the government for a portion of America. Because no place is packed or crowded. See, the cities all day can be packed and crowded, but in the countries, there's plenty of room for you. So seek some of this earth today that you can call your own. Let us unite and ask the government for a portion of America. We deserve it. We are not thinking of anyone making us hungry, unless it is Allah God. And He came to feed us. As it is written, my righteous servant shall eat, but you shall go hungry. In America, hunger is starting at you now, unemployment. You cannot buy the food that you used to buy. Well, you have nothing to buy it with. This is why I plead with you today. Let's grow and get our own food. And let us go to the earth and grow our own food today. Not to be going around in the city with a basket for the devil to drop food into. He will not help you, for he will not have any food to drop into his own basket. He has not only food store, but he have clothes store. He have plenty of this, but that does not mean that he cannot come to hunger and nakedness. If Allah God strikes at him, Allah God bring the wicked into desolation before they can get started to strike back. Murdering the black babies now. The only one he should be thin out is himself. See, the earth belongs to the black people. What do we look like cutting down on our birth rates? Is there any narrow of the earth for us? Earth is being expanded for us. There's plenty earth for us. For Allah, God will clear the earth of its wicked population. All of those places will be taken by the Muslims. My God, to pay attention to the white man and let him slaughter the baby before and after their birth. This will be like what the fire worshippers did, who worshiped the fire god Moloch. They took their babies and threw them into the fire to be burnt up, to show the sincerity to the god of fire. Are you going to enemy of the black man to have him deprive you of giving birth to a black baby, to let him kill it in your worship of him? Do not you think that you are acting like a mighty big fool? I think that you are. This is our earth. Have they squeezed it up so that there is no place to live except they kill off the black people? No black brothers, black sisters. I hope that you read this and understand that we, the black people, are the true owners. Allah, God, is giving our earth back to us. This is what he means, as well as the spiritual religion of us. When he said, accept your own. This is our earth. He's telling you to accept it. He will give it to you. The Bible teaches that the meek shall inherit the earth. The humble, poor people, they will get the earth. It belongs to them. We have parables in the Bible which the writer of the history of Jesus tells us was spoken by Jesus, of the parable of the lost sheep and the son. He returned and became the owners. This only means you and me. Why do not we take our place? Why should we give our babies to the enemy to be able to be used to be destroyed? Because he says that you have nothing to feed them with. Follow me, and I'll show you. And you get more houses than you need, more money than you can spend. Help me, brothers, and Allah, God, will not deprive you of a good reward. I know you understand. See what we do for Allah, God, he will do it for us. See, in this day and time, we're all tired. The wicked and the righteous are both tired. The dissatisfaction. No one is happy today because we're dealing amongst the dissatisfaction. Now, how do we fix the solution? Come with a right method and practicing and coming with the right solution. So I want to say, what sin today has the black baby done for you to murder it in your room? See, he had done nothing. It will come back to you in a terrifying way. Your conscience will condemn you for doing such. All of our evil will come before us. See, let us not be such fools as to think that we have to cast our babies into the arms of a murderer, to murder them for excuse that he needs to do so in order to feed and house you. See, no place is crowded but the cities. There's plenty of room in the country. See, I want to say, let us think today that we don't have to cast our babies into the arms of a murderer for the excuse that he needs to do so in order to feed you. See, Pharaoh had that same idea. We let the women folks live and kill every firstborn, because he started to see there's a great multitude. See, there's plenty of room for us today in the country. But you got to ask the government today to seek some of this portion that the government don't want to give you. Seek a home in America that you can call your own. Because the black man never had a problem. See, just look at China and India today. They do not destroy their babies just because they do not have money. They try to have means to take care of them. We see today, China take care of her population. India does not take care of her because she depends on Britain and other white people. We must remember that the white race has no part, no share in Earth. They only have time to live on Earth. They do not have a share of actual Earth itself. So let us not kill our black people for just the act of a murder who was made to murder us. I warn you, do not think hard of him for doing what he was made for. But I do fault you for following him and what he was made for. Now, how are we going to ever build a covenant with Christ if we so much divided? And we so divide with hate. You see, immorality is now here, and some of us are ready to get underneath that task. See, this is why Romans chapter 12, verse 2, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed for the renewing of your mind. So I want to say, when Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy spoke out for the Negro, and I want to say, rest in peace to Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy, because we see from the death of Abraham Lincoln to the assassination of President Kennedy, it proved that on each one of these occasions was outlaws, overruled legal authorities. It was in the case of presidents who spoke and opened their mouth and said something favorable for the so-called Negro. I'm not saying that this was the reason President Kennedy was assassinated, but it seemed very strange that every president who said something favorable for the so-called Negro paid for it with his life. We also can substantiate this by fact that any Negro wants to lead the so-called Negro into a better life towards true peace, freedom, justice, and equality, which he is entitled to enjoy, is also subject to the same kind of assassination or attempt at assassination. I know these to be facts. There are some who seem not to want a true freedom, and who will also speak unfavorable and plan unfavorable actions against those who dare to lead a true struggle for justice and equality. The tragic death of President Kennedy should serve as a warning to all rulers and people of value that value cannot be trusted openly in the presence of thieves and robbers. You guys hit the like button. As you guys come in here, hit that like button for me. Share this so it can bring up the YouTube algorithm. I need you guys to hit the like. So this got to be shared, y'all. This got to be shared, because we got to compare presidents when they was running the presidency. We are in a break of a fall. So hit this, share the like button, and hit that like. Hit that like button, share this, and subscribe to the channel. Now, there have never been a president today elected in high office who had the hearts of everyone for him. And never was there a king who had the people wholeheartedly with him, regardless of how good the king, the president, prime minister, or the spokesman for the king or presidents There may be some people who do not like high officials holding the top office of the nations. I think that they should be well protected and all precautionary steps should be taken to ensure such person's safety. Riding an open car or walking openly in the public is usually a needless risk taken by anyone holding such high office, especially when they are political officials. So I just love John F. Kennedy, man. During his 35th presidency, he had the heart for everyone. The running candidate running as president of the United States, you have to have the heart of everyone. Not one creed, but you have to have a heart. He had the heart of everyone. Just take a moment of silence. He has the heart for everyone. So I say those spiritual teachers, such as prophets of God and messengers, their life had now been spared in the public according to recorded history of the life of these characters. They are both friends and enemies in the public service. We must be aware of them. Such outlaws action permitted in America is a disgrace and shame to the governments and to the people who are recognized as world leaders, an example of what others should do in a way of friendship and cooperations. With the great scientific advances that America has made, it does not seem possible in this modern time that the tragedy that took place on the 22nd of November shall never happen. This is a long way from the assassination of President William McKinley. There are 62 years between the two assassinations of presidents of the United States of America, and with such great advancements in the science of protection, these things shall never happen. Again, it shows to the world that the governments of America and its people are actually given to such outlaws and violent actions, masters of assassinators of outlaws. See, they didn't want you to speak in a whole for the people. See, John F. Kennedy and William McKinley, they was doing something in the interest of the hearts of the whole American people. See, such outlaws is a disgrace, and it should be taken very seriously, even today. Because to take human life at will, disregarding their own legal laws against such actions, see, makes the country be classified as a country of governments of outlaw where people have no safety of their lives today under laws which claim to safeguard the life of human beings. Well, you know, the laws is not made for the righteous, but for the unrighteous, the ungodly, the unholy, the unreligious, those who murder their fathers and mothers, for the sex traders, for the perjurers, liars, for the homosexuality, wherever is country to the sound of documents. So we have the natural election. We see the black man of America have been privileged by the slave master children for the last centuries to vote for whites for office to judge and rule. The freedom to vote had made this black man in America feel very dignified and proud of himself. He goes to the poll very happy to vote for a white voter. Today, he is gradually changing to a desire to vote for his own kind for such office of authority. We must remember that our vote is strong and powerful only when and where the white man can use it to get in an office over his white opponents. After election and the victory, there are very few favors that come from his office to black voters who help and aid him in getting in office. Why? Because he does not own the black voters anything as long as he has to feed, clothe, and shelter him. The black votes could be cash or not cash. The right citizens of the governments are going to win, continue to rule anyway. There's much talk of this man, and that man who shall the vote of the people put in the White House for the next 4 years. See how good has the two parties, Republicans and Democrats, done for us for the last centuries now in the way of freedom, justice, and equality. See, this is why the nation suffered today. This is why we are suffering today. This is why God has visited America with divine judgment. This is why they suffer this divine action today. This is not our judgment, brothers. I want y'all to understand and agree with me. What have the Republicans and Democrats done for you in the last centuries in the way of your freedom, justice, and equality? See, the die has always been set against us. See, this is why I said today they planted death. But God too is planted. And he's the best planner, knowing their thoughts before there was ever made. And so you get an ignorant one who says there's no God. But God is, he's active, sharper than any double-edged sword. He has will, physical eyes, and ears. He's capable of listening and seeing what we say and do. But you have this idiot. You always got an idiot one in a bunch will say there's no God. But when you see God in action, because he's going to center the earth now. He's going to center out the earth. And you might say, well, what you mean the earth going to be center out? Yes, you're going to push the people to the center. And that means you're going to see her coastal lines destroyed. Everything just fueling and boiling up. And you're going to see God. And you're going to bow no matter where you at. In the heaven or earth, every knee is going to bow. And they're going to confess that Jesus is Lord to the glory of God. You're going to bow at some point. So how much good we see have these parties done in the last centuries? And where your freedom, justice, and equality. See, regardless what party wins today, the die has always been set against us, the black people in America. In just politics and a bereavement of corruption under politics have been practiced ever since Adam to the present day ruler. See, Adam was the first. There had not been justice for this black man and his race of people. And this is why the race suffered from the effect of today. And this is why I tell you guys, y'all won't have to move from these people, man. Move from their people. Because God has remembered her sins. Her sins has heaped up into the heaven. You won't have to depart from her. Depart from her people. If you live in the South, I urge you. If you're living with them in the South, depart right now. Depart right now. There are black politicians today who would like to use the black people for selfish greed and would throw down behind any crock with money. Black politicians of this type have sold their black brothers to suffer shame for self-evaluation with the crock. See how they set you up? He said, nigga, you better off with this job. You got a high position just for some crumbs for a race whose time has come to an end. and you ready to settle for some crumbs? See, black people today, you don't have to look for a high paying job, drawing a big roll of money in this time after this war. So I want to say this election is one of the most serious elections we see today in history of American governments. Because neither party that seeks the office of presidency is faced with the problem of saving the life of people of America. If the present party, Democrat, remain in office, you know the answer. If the Republican Party take over, you should know the answer. There will be the lull before the storm now. The storm can be delayed, and every hour and day that it can be delayed is to your benefit. See, so it's for their benefit. See, it's up to them, brothers and sisters, to make good today, to make peace this day. Because Jesus said, when you giving a brother or sister a drink of water, and that being a good act, see, God can prolong their time. See, God can put an extension of time. Because no good act goes without its reward. See, you know how stubborn they is? They will say, you know what I mean? That's how stubborn, arrogant these people are. Their hearts are hardened. Their hearts are hard as stone. They are some stubborn, damn people, man. So I said the black man should be very serious today and careful about his voting, because 90% black votes are cast by one who did not have the knowledge of what they are casting their votes for. I still say, as I have said for many years now, vote for Allah God to be your ruler and come follow me. The dead are rising, they seek their own. The dead are we, the black one slave of this white man of America. We are mentally dead people. We are dead to the knowledge of self and others. The knowledge of self has now come to us from God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is a man. His teaching brings us into reality, and that into some kind of spooky or spirit or ghost-like teachings. Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is all rise living God. We desire that we see him as he is, a human being, and not something beyond the families a human being spooks. We can never ask a forming spirit to lead us, because we are not a forming spirit ourselves. Man can only listen to man. Man cannot listen to other than man. And have proof, we just never were able to obey anything but ourselves. We, the ones dead mentally, are coming to a knowledge of life. We learn this lesson of the living. It will destroy the brief other than ourselves. See, bringing us up in slavery time, putting us into a mental death, was something that the slave master and his children did because of the desire to make us into something that was other than the truth in order to be able to keep our minds enslaved. From the visit of God and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, whom praise are due forever, time now have come to us as it is written, that on the day of judgment we shall see God as he is. The Bible, Revelation 1:7. The rise of the dead does not by any means mean what you and I was taught when we was little boys and little girls. Even while we were little boys and little girls, man and woman, age, we are still pushed on the baby side for understanding of the truth. We, the black people, are no longer babies. We are babies to no one except God himself. You are fast learning that you are not babies anymore, but when you rise up from the dead knowledge of black self and others. You are learning fast that Allah God is fast in creating us in a new way of thinking. The way in which we have been thinking was in a way of untruth, an unseemly way of understanding. America is a country where evil is dominant. And the people of America think nothing but evil. It is very startling that you can talk to a person without getting a thought quickly that their mind is filled with evil. With the black people in America are called dead spiritually. And we, the black people in America, now desire to make for ourselves something better than what the slave master children have made of us. We want to make something better of ourselves than what the slave master children still do make of us. Look at many people who used to be stage actors who are now forsaking the stage as being a mockery to them, or are now former stage actors who want to be seen and convert with as civilized black people, and that as some kind of a stage actors. See, the white stage actors are with some sense because they are civilized. A meaningless act is not enjoyed by people who are intelligently learned into the knowledge of civilizations. But the poor black man in America have no knowledge of any civilization. But the white man have gotten to all of the civilized people are there, and he knows them, and they know him. This is why now a war between civilization must take place, because the present ruler, right race, have deceived the whole entire civilized world with their civilization of deceits. The right race was made for the purpose of making mischief. The right race was made for the purpose of deceits. And now that Almighty God has come to make manifest that which has been hidden of the truth, just run the white man from under his deceitful blanket, which had the white man covered. As the Bible teaches us, God will pull the cover off of their cover and show the nation the right race shame. The white men have not been uncovered by Almighty God Allah, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, whom praise are due forever. I do not see any cover left for the white man's skins. But Allah God is pulling the cover off of the right race. This make it possible for us, the black people, who is dead to this knowledge of the truth, to see the natural characteristics of this deadly right enemy of the black man. Now we can stun our enemies like we do a rattlesnake. When we see the rattlesnake or hear his rattle sting, we begin to try and seek cover for the rattlesnake if we are not able to kill. For we know his deadly sting, but this snake right race have overtaken us and has bitten us so many times that we have become so poisoned from his poison getting into our blood, from his sting, that it has taken God now to come to prevent the snake from continuing to sting us. And Allah God has that cure for our being bitten by the snake. He will separate both of us from being involved with each other so that the snake poisonous sting will not affect us. The black man in America have never knew anyone but the white race. Therefore, the black man seek pacification and mercy from a people. You cannot blame the white man for what he is. You cannot blame him for being what he is. The white people was made the people that they are. And the white man had made us, the black man, other than our own self. At the present time, we are not like we were when we was created in the beginning. In the beginning, we was created right. And then we was deceived it by the deceiver. We was made a deceiver by nature. Our black people are rising up. And we are happy to rise to the knowledge of self and others. The rise of the dead will be like the blast of a trumpet pretty soon. The black people will become into the knowledge of themselves so fast that it will look like the rise of the dead has taken place at once. I just love to look at my black people now. All of them are arising, and listen to them talk. See how much different they are. My black people must get out of these white man's names. My black people must be qualified to enter the real original names of Almighty God Allah. come to the temple of Islam and learn all about yourself. After learning all about yourself, you will be able to take those who enslave you and warp them around your little fingers. And you will not feel them on your little fingers until you see them on your little fingers and snake them off. See, Allah, God love you. I love you. We want to build up this world for ourselves, live in this world in peace and happiness. The resurrection of our people. The old world must be removed to make way for a new world. There's a universal struggle being waged by the old world against the beginning of a new world. Will the old world opposition prevent the establishment of a new world? According to recorded history, the effort being made by the old world against the beginning of a new world will fail, as their former opponents of Allah. According to the history of Noah, the people ridiculed the very thoughts of Allah, bringing a flood to drown them. See, Noah was laughed at and succumbed for preaching such a doctrine. According to the Bible and the Holy Quran, he was called a liar and looked upon as a crazy person. Some of the members of Noah's family joined the mockers and disbelievers of Allah and his messengers, who was Noah, that met the same fate as the others who disbelieved it. The opposition of that world to advent of a better world was total, a failure. So shall it be with those today who oppose the beginning of a new world of righteousness, Islam. In the time of Abraham and his nephew Lot, before the birth of Ismail, Isaac, and Abraham, two sons, the people mockers and haters of truth and righteousness in that part of the world. The city of Sodom and Gomorrah had become victimized to every imaginable evil. They even threatened the life of the preacher of the righteousness, Lot, disregarding the strangers. The angel visited Lot until it was too late. So it is with the opponents of the messenger of Allah today in America. The wicked always believe that they are mightier than Allah, God, and they make a supreme effort to thwart the plan and purpose of Allah to bring about a better world. They always love to attack the messengers, to try to condemn him as a liar, trying to prove the messenger a liar, mean calling Allah a liar. The Holy Quran repeatedly prophesies a miserable, shameful, and disgraceful defeat for the disbelievers and hypocrite in a campaign against the last messenger of Allah, whom Allah will rise in the time of the resurrection of the dead people. The messengers are never sent. There are always a rise in the midst of those whom Allah will warn. So they can't claim that they did not understand the language of the messengers or say that he was a foreigner or a stranger. The messengers is one for them. For nearly 34 years, I had served you, just as Allah, a one of old, served a hard-hearted, hard-headed, disbelieving people who was great lovers of the enemies of Allah and the true religion of Islam, which means entire submission to Allah's will. There is mockery and evil plans are made against my life by the wicked, just as it was made against Noah, the prophet. The powerful witch world of Christianity, especially America, is made to seem as movable as the mountains. But it is not impossible to remove mountains. They can be removed by high explosives. So wealth and power also can be reduced to nothing. We are now living in the judgment or doom of the white man's world. Preparation has been made to meet every effort by the white man to oppose the beginning and setting up of Allah's new world of righteousness, Islam. The government, USA Today, watch my followers with an evil eye, seeking to deceive anyone who will enter the fold to help further the cause of truth and upliftment of the mourning heads and the grieving hearts of the American so-called nickel, to help make them a nation of righteousness and justice to serve as a star for their nation and their own kind forever. The U.S. government is active in its deceitful works of trying to slow the progress of the resurrection of our people. America White want us to reject Allah and the true religion of Islam and believe in their false religions and false God when they cannot make manifest to you. They cannot prove to you in this day and time that Christianity is a defense for you as well as for themselves against their doom. America must be taken and destroyed according to the prophets at the time and end of the wicked world where the lost and found members of the ancient people are found. America hates and mistreats her slave to the extent that it has reached the hearts of Allah and the righteous people of the earth, the nation of Islam. We read where our black brothers refer to American so-called as their brothers, while according to the preaching of some of these lost and found members of the nation of the earth, they rather have themselves referred to as their brothers of their enemies. The extent to which the enemy has poisoned the minds and hearts of my people here in America is shameful. They willfully do anything to deceive the so-called and to go into their doom with them. There is no way for an enemy of Allah, his messengers, his people, the darker people of the earth to find strength, power, and wisdom enough to win in a war against Allah, as it is written in the Christian Bible and many other places. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and you with the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. Elements shall melt with a fervent heat. The earth also and the work therein shall be burnt up. The Bible, Peter chapter 3:10. The earth shall not be burnt up. It will be here for many thousand years to come. Only that on the earth, the devil which has sinned against Allah, his laws will be destroyed. The earth, the sun, the moon, the stars have never disobeyed Allah since their creation. The opposer of truth, Adam and Eve, the father and mother of the white race, refused the religion of Islam peace because of their nature in which they was made. This make it impossible for the right race to submit to Allah and obey his laws of righteousness. This, the law-found members of the nation from that tribe must learn of the right race. There's a race of time to seek mercy and justice from a people who by nature do not have it for each other. They talk and preach the goodness of God and his prophets only to deceive you, who by nature are the God of righteousness, and to fall them away from our God to a God who does not exist. See, our future is at stake. 99% of us do not know it. With every evil spooner around you, seeking an excuse to do their worst to you, make it hard for the 99% ignorant to ever know the truth. The great desire is to prevent you from ever accepting the truth. They claim the truth, but they hate real teachings. See, they seek any kind of charge to place against us to get revenge for our preaching the truth. They tap our telephones and follow us around from place to place, use tape recording machines, and the hypocrite stool pigeons amongst us keep them up to date on what we say and do. They are bold enough to even ask your own relatives to help them to do you evil and do to fear and ignorancy on the parts of my poor people. Enemy hired them to destroy themselves. See, truth hurts the guilty. Will persecution, murdering the truth, bears help the evildoers in this late hour of their day, the end of their time? Our problem must be solved, says Allah, the God of righteousness, who is with you and me, to raise us up, the poor, lost, found members of the original owners of the planet Earth, the tribe. A good solution is as follows. Stop proposing the spread of Islam peace amongst us. Let us go back to our God, Allah, our religion, Islam, peace, since you will not give us the so-called nickel equal justice and do not want social mixing with your free slaves because of degrading and lowering your own status in the eyes of the world. Help us to go for ourselves, neither out or in your countries. For 400 years, we have served you with our labor, sweat, blood, the lash of your whoop, killing, lynching, burning of our innocent black flesh without even a hearing and a court of justice, or even our murders being punished. Although we are marched before your enemy, and there we pour our life for the freedom of your life, children, and your countries. Return home to meet an even worse enemy. We are hated and kicked out in certain places, like an unwanted dog. We have caught the game, but was not given a taste of it. Only that which the hunter could not and should not eat himself. The dog, being too ignorant to recognize the injustice done to him by his master, would jump to his feet again at the call of his master to offer his life for his master's life. This we have and are still doing for you. We are not wanted in your better neighborhoods. In many places, we have to be guarded and protected by your armed force in order to live in a house which one of your kind has sold to us. Yet, we are the most peaceful and honest of the population. We are taxed equally and perhaps more than those of our own kind, who are the real citizen owners of this country, America, though our labors of our fathers made and built it for you. Think over millions of us working, fighting, dying at your hands, and others for 400 years without a home which we can call home, not being allowed to worship our God, religion, nor have unity among self and our kind, without being charged with the worst crimes, and seeking to overthrow the government by force, though we have no arm to do such, just to have an excuse for you persecuting and seeking to kill the same poor 400-year-old slaves. Something got to give. The deceivers and the deceived. We, the whole nation, are the lost found members of the black nation in America, must remember that for the past 400 years, we have been weared by the enemies of our fathers. According to their own history, writing, bringing us up from our native lands and people into the Western hemisphere was not for the purpose of making themselves friendly people to us and our nation, but to deceive us as being that which they actually were, not a friend and advisor to us, while at the same time depriving us of true justice and equality. Even now, after 400 years of servitude, slavery, we must remember that the deceiver actually has deceived us. The coming of God, the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever, is to make manifest this arch deceiver, work against us, and to equip us with the nature of the arch deceiver, that deceits is part of his very nature. The Allah comes to give us the knowledge of the God of evil, who have freedom for the past 6,000 years to deceive not only you and me, but also the entire nation of the earth. This is the greatest salvation that God, Allah, could bring to you and me, to know the source of our trouble and cause. The power of the manifestator is to remove this cause, which has affected the black nation for 6,000 years. It is worth the heaven and earth to us when we agree on not trying to make them our friends, which by nature they cannot be, even if they wanted to. Y'all need to hit that likes. You guys come in here, it's like 55 people, man. And I got 3 likes. Y'all got to smash that like button, man. Smash that like button. Share this video, please. Now, only a few have the brief of goodness. By nature, they are not good, but they can practice goodness. Our position makes us the victims of deceits of these great scientific deceivers, the right race. They put us to sleep as babies, and they know the type of noise that awaken the sleeping babies now. See, the noise is that which Allah and the person Master Muhammad has made. And he, Allah, has mission me continue to make that noise until all our people are fully awakened from the slumber of the earth receiver of the nation of the earth. Now, even today, the American designers, manufacturer will dress the woman up in about 1/3 of her dress and turn her out partially new, when nudity is originated from the right race. But they want to tell the world that they are the guide. The guide to what? Because they lead you into evil and filth. You see, immorality is now here. And the nation will get underneath that. And see, that's why Jeremiah 6:14 says, they dress the hearts of our people as though it's serious. Peace, peace, they say, when there is no peace. Peacemakers. See, these are your peace breakers. You see, surely now all are really working to keep us blind, you see. Deaf, dumb, to the knowledge of deceivers. But the few who will help us endanger their own life and trying to help us now. As you see, the Christian priests in Milwaukee profess to be trying to help those who want to live next door. And the house of the children of the father's slave masters is having trouble. Even this easy can be classified as deceitful work against truth, freedom, justice, and equality for our people. See, this priest is having trouble amongst our openest, vigorous haters of you and me, of his kind. This priest won't help this poor black man here in America, especially in Milwaukee, to accept false friendship, to forever be at their mercy, to rule spiritually, economically, and politically. He is not trying to teach this black man that they should not want to sell themselves back to the slave master for a morsel of possum. The priest knows by the scriptures and his Bible that the time is right for the total freedom of the 400-year-old slave of the white man to go to his owner. The priest is wise to you that you should have a place to live wherever you want. You would not have dared teach this openly before this day and time, the end of this world. The others are so evil and victorious to do us harm. That great gang of white people out in the street would attack one poor black man going to that area in his car and would yell, "Get that nigga." See, this showed cowardice of the white man in America ever since we have been here, going at the so-called nigga to do him harm. He always wanted 100 rights to attack that one Negro. That shows cowardice of the white man and the white race against the black people. The black man could put a stop to such a attacker of this evil force, but this is not the way of Allah God. This is not the way of the prediction, as the priest knows. The coming of Allah in search for the black lost members of the nation today is to make himself known so he can conquer our captors by using the weapons against which they have no power. The Allah will bring the attack of divine judgment of the world without the use of contrived weapons. The weapons of war used by God, past history, of destruction of the enemy of God, such as Noah's people, Lot's people, and most people are example of what he will use today. The weapons are the force of nature, against which we have no defense. America is under such divine attack now in storms as rain, hail, and earthquakes. The latter is yet to take place. A terrific drought is on its way too against America. The books must be fulfilled. The Bible and Holy Quran both refer to all that I have said. This is the divine judgment to bring victorious America to her knees. She, America, hates the people of God, and the Negro do not know that they are really the people of God. This is the great truth that you must come to the knowledge of that you are a member of the families of God, not the members of the families of the devil, but you follow the devil's country, your own nature. The natural man, black, is of his God himself. We have been deceived of the righteousness, justice, and equality by the arch deceiver. We have been taken from the knowledge of self as being the true people of God, and that God is present, seeking us to place us again into the orbit, divine supreme being, where we can rotate in submission to the will of God, as the entire universe is doing, except the right race. We cannot set up a better government for our people by using the corrupt political activities of this people, the arch deceivers. All of their work was based upon deceiving the nation, not to bring them into a friendly brotherhood and prosperity for the black man. Even today, after 400 years of the so-called freedom, he is still against you going free. See, this is your trouble today. You are deceived and deceived by the enemy you think is a friend, but take note of what he's offering you. He is offering you only temporary enjoyment and not a permanent enjoyment for your people. We want some earth and not a temporary room in the house of our enemies. Let the political and spiritual leaders unite on such a stand as getting some earth for the people and not getting just a job and a chance to lower around sleeping, allowing the enemy to protect our responsibility for self. We must bear our own responsibilities. This, the God of justice and truth will force you to do before he will be defeated. His purpose and aim is to unite us to our own. He will fight the arch deceiver with the force of nature and with his own wisdom, which has no equal, to make you enemy bow to his will. This is the judgment of the world, especially of the white man in America, who have been here for 400 years, living between the two oceans, the Atlantic and the Pacific, to do as he pleases. Slave is deprived of the freedom to do as he pleases, but to do as the slave master pleases. Our great misunderstanding of self and of others lies in the seats of the arch deceiver of us. They will never teach you and me to do good for self, only under their own power and dictatorship. What we need is unite, not demanding and marching over the country to live near the white man in his home, but demand a separate place for us in this country and to help us with the means of civilization, as he has to get started limiting the time to get started within the next 20 or 25 years. Many scientists think that it's too late for this demand because of the anger of God against America for evil done to us. But Allah has the power over all things, and he does that which he will to do. So even as scientists know that it's too late for America to do a marvelous thing, because if she haven't done a marvelous thing by now, then it's too late. This is why many scientists say it's too late, because of what is approaching, brothers and sisters, is coming. You think she have time to do a basic principle when she haven't done it? Things is boiling up here. These pledges are boiling right here in America. So I say, many scientists think that it's too late for this demand because of Allah God against America for evil she had done. But Allah God has that power over all things, and he does that which he will to do. See, it's up to America if she wants to help us. It will be a great good putting us on the way to self for any evil one or nation. The God of justice will grant them a reward for doing such, as no good act goes without its reward. They deceived the so-called Negro under temptation, filth, and a promise that they will be given jobs and new homes next door to them in the same territory which their very nature is against, and which is without any future. It is temporary enjoyment. We want something permanent. They give us a few of these states to live in to ourselves, which we have well earned for 400 years of free labor. When you see that his life and your life are at stake to try to accept the present plan filled with deceits, to the Negro, both you and he will welcome an opportunity to agree on the kind of program. Unite with me, Black America, for your starvation. Evil spread far and wide. Ever since the creation of Adam and Eve, had there been such time as we are witnessing today, with the worst yet to come. There is no peace amongst the nation of the earth. The only few people who enjoy peace of mind and contentment in this day and time are the elect of God. Though they already know this, the time that has come. They have been persecuted from city to city, falsely accused and denied the credit due them because of the righteousness and the millers of the wicked who have ruled the world. By no means can the righteous be represented for the righteous sake by the evildoers of the world. See, God is despised and rejected. We see evil is accepted, and honor and justice stands far off, and equity cannot come in, said the prophet Isaiah and the Bible. The Holy Quran warns us to fear a day when evil is spread far and wide, and a day of God's presence at the end of this satanic world to bring it to a nothing. Allah God calls the evil world to be upset, since they have been the enemies of peace and the haters and destroyers of the righteous, who had brought them peace if they had accepted those worthy of the prophets. But they reject all Jesus charged them with, being the murderers of the righteous, from Abel to Zechariah. And we can very well add more and say from Abel to Muhammad. Today, America professes to be the most Christianized country on our planet, but actually she is not. For Christian means to be Christianized to one. Spiritually, that one refers to the Christ. Christ means the one who is coming at the end of the world, or the wicked as a crusher. His name actually means one who is anointed to crush the wicked. The real satanic people are the right race, who have discussed themselves. See the black people to follow them. They just use the name Christian, which means to be Christ-like. They have set up a head for the religion in Rome. Italy, the Pope Father represents himself as being an intercessor, meaning one who is second only to Christ or God, intercede for the people's sins and recognition of God, but he has no divine backing. This false should be destroyed by the Christ, the crusher of the wicked, the great of Islam, Allah, God in person. These are the days of Christ or God's presence, destroy this evil world with all deceptions, that the people should again labor under a wicked ruler, the devil. The presidency of Allah has upset the devil, who had and exercised total control over the world under falsehood, and have made evil to appear fair seemingly. The so-called Christian world has never before displayed such madness as they do today, since they cannot hide their real wickedness and deceitful ways. They are angry. According to their preaching and teaching of Christianity, they prophesy that they alone will be the happy groups that will welcome the coming of the Messiah, the Christ. The Bible condemned them that they was angry and sought to hide their faith from him, God. No wonder Isaiah chapter 2:19 says, the people will flee from the Lord. No wonder that chapter, Isaiah chapter 2:19 says, the people will flee in the caves, in the hole, in the ground, from the fearful presence of the Lord and the splendor of his majesty when he comes to rise the earth. It should be clear to you today that Christian America does not want such preaching as entire submission to the will of Allah's Islam. The Christians hate the very name of God, such as Muhammad, which are attribute of God. The Jesus prophesied that they will hate you for his God's namesake, for having one of his names. Because the name of God are to live forever. No, the name of God are to live forever. No other people on earth have the names of God but the Muslims. So the coming of just one make manifest to you this evil race of sinners. And it will be against his God's presence and be angry because of him who will seek to destroy him and his messengers, as it is prophesied in 2nd Psalm. Every nation have a term, and every nation have a term. So when a term comes, they cannot remain behind the least while, nor can they beside the Holy Quran, chapter 7:34. This is why they will continue to hold on to their rule, their suggestion, their possession of the merchandise. See, they're willing to shed many blood here, brothers. This is how they're going to hold on to their term. Even though their term is up, they will hold on just as Pharaoh hold on. So they get the full pledge. When God fully pledged this country, then they're going to know that this judgment is coming on them. But they're going to hold on. They're going to ignore it. They're going to avoid it. They're going to pay it no mind. See, there was a term for the people of Noah, Lot, and Moses. See, this also holds truth to the life and death of individuals. See, all is under control of Almighty Allah, especially when a divine beginning and ending have been appointed for the accomplishments, the sustained work that must be done by the life of people. The above chapter and the verse of the Holy Quran is a warning to a present nation whose term is now coming to an end. This should not surprise you, brothers. The term had long come. Now, if we know what is said to us and what is written by the prophet for us to read, study, and plan over, and if we understand, we should not fall victims to misunderstanding and disbelief. The trouble with this black man in America is that he is heedless of the truth, for he was reared by the slave foster parents who was his enemy, the right race. They caused him to become heedless. It was their intention, an enemy, to make the black man an enemy to the truth as himself was and is. This is the enemy was successful in doing, for the black man in America is referred to as being blind, deaf, and dumb, in many instances as dead. See, this is the work of the enemy. Therefore, it took one who is our friend and not our enemy to do good to us and to restore us to life mentally. Children of the father slave master who took our life mentally are working just as faithfully as their fathers did. However, since the 100 years have elapsed from the time of the slave fathers, the children are wiser and educated more in method to keep this black man in America blind, deaf, and dumb. In the days of servitude, slavery, our grandparents, the white slave master, did not even give them good food. Today, you can buy good food if you had the money. However, much of it is poisoned by chemical use. The white slave master will offer a piece of fried chicken and a biscuit with a little butter on it to the so-called nickel as an introducement for him to teach or preach what the slave master wanted him to all other slaves on that Sunday morning. See, the slave did not have the theologically of the scriptures. He made his other brothers spiritually blind, deaf, and dumb. See, the same goes for the preachers of today, as you can see. They preach for reward for both whites and blacks. See, I have tried them for many years. See, they are as their fathers were. They desire to do anything for this white man. They want him to give them better position. And they will offer to cut off their heads of their black brothers if it will please their master. Although I live in a neighborhood with white neighbors, I do so for the purpose of proving that I can live in a neighborhood just as cleanly and noisily as they do. See, white people do not like you to come into their neighborhood jumping on them and licking them in the mouth like a puppy. They do not want their friends to think that they are taking you for an equal. He will talk to you as a friend who is not in the presence of members of his society. They do not like you coming to their block beating your wife or girlfriends and drinking in front of their houses. See, no decent, intelligent person like this, where he is white as snow or black as the ace of spade. You can go to the jungle and you will not want this. See, late at night, he and a gang of monkeys will come out and beat you up. The American so-called Negro had been made out of himself and kind by white Americans. He must now be reformed. In fact, God has promised him a new body. The Bible and Holy Quran teach us that we will be a new people altogether. He will destroy and act ignorant and foolish. He is not aware of his ignorant actions because he has become a part of ignorancy. Now the end of the term which was set for the white man have come. The average so-called Negro, the lost-found members of the black nation, does not know that this is the end of the world of the white man, his rule over the black nation. He will not listen to one of his own kind who tells or teach him of the time and doom of the world that we have known, white man's world. They offer high positions and monies to the so-called Negro intellectual politicians who work against the good of the black American people. They will accept such, for they have been deprived of love for self and kind. What do they care about the millions who are so walled in the mud of civilization? They are content as long as they eat the butter biscuit and fried chicken as their slave fathers did. You will not think that they will hire themselves out to be stew pigeons, white man bootlickers, and Uncle Toms in these modern times of advanced education. But they are doing just that. They do not want the praise of God and their own black people. See, they want it from their slave master children. Slave master children would give it to them as long as they reject themselves in kind and worship and exalt the white people. So the white man is very clever in making a public fool of the black man. They show the brown, yellow, and red man what a good job they have done on the black man in America and throughout the earth. He is doing what nature bid him to do. I do not blame the white man anymore for making fools of our people. It is the nature of the white man to make a fool of our people. But it is not the nature of our people to allow him to make a fool of us. But when you have been given a knowledge of yourself, the nature in which God created you, still allow the devil to make a fool of you, then you do not have the sympathy of God and the righteous, not after knowledge. The divine terms that was given to the white race to allow them to make a fool of the black man and rule him with tricks is now up. The devil with his tricks must be removed. He was given this chance to deceive you with his trigonology, and therefore God will not hinder the devil from tricking you if he can. This is written in the Holy Quran, chapter 7. God promised hellfire to both the devil and his followers, whom he can get from the black nation. Therefore, you and I, after the knowledge of the devil, his tricks, his term, shall not blame anyone but ourselves. If we allow the devil to trick us, for that is the job of the devil. It is his nature. We blame ourselves and not the enemy. You lust for his half nude women and thirst for whiskey and beer. You desire gambling, robbing, killing each other for the personal properties of others. See, this is the work of the devil upon you. You do not have to allow him to cause you to live such a life. Do not blame them, blame your foolish self. It have always been the policy of the white man to use a black man against a black man, especially leaders. Look at history. See how he had deceived and killed off the black leaders of foreign lands? And then they took over themselves? This should be a lesson for you and me. We the Muslims have watched our people who have come amongst us as eyes and ears and stewed pigeons for white folks. When they have become converted to the truth and join us, they confess that they are ashamed that they have worked against us for the sake of a few perishable dollars. We know that the white man's our enemy. Whatever we are, he offers some silly so-called nickel and higher office and higher pay to work against us Muslims, the righteous, or any so-called nickel, where he be a Baptist, Methodist, holy roller, or sanctified. Some lazy so-called nickel will work against him for the white man. It is a shame in such modern times to see black politicians and preachers accepting position to work against their own black people for a few dollars when a race through time have come to an end. We are justified in taking it. If the white man give us $1 billion or $100 billion, we deserve it. But we are not justified to sell our life for such a gift in this day and time. Declare yourself a Muslim and see how much the devil will give you. He would say we would give it to you if we preach that we are not devils. We'll answer that it's just the same as saying, if you do not teach the truth of me, so that I can continue to see the world of your kind, I will help you. Remember what the Bible teaches us. As Satan said to Jesus, all these things I will give you. Fall down and worship me. Matthew 4:9. And he showed him the kingdoms of the world. Perhaps you will be off of the world of the wicked pretty soon. If so, the Bible says, what profit a man if he gains the world and lose his own life soul? This is a warning to the preachers. See, a little money with its dying value will not help you against God's aim and purpose of the resurrection of the dead lost found members of the nations. You lose your life. For so doing you should. For you cause innocent ones who are blind, deaf, and dumb to go to hell with yourself and the enemies. Allah God came forth in the person of Master Muhammad, whom praise is due forever. The Son of Man, as it is written, seeking to save that which was lost, and to restore it again that which hath gone astray. He has said to me that he would eat the rattlesnake to save our life, and that he will walk 40 miles up a mountain to teach just one in order to save his life in exchange for our safety and return to our own. I have taken him for my God and our Savior, and I advise you to do the same regardless of the offer of money, with his fast becoming worthless. Jesus refused the money and dwelt upon the truth That is written that we must not worship Satan. Satan places behind us and not in front of us. It is the nature of Satan to try and deceive the very angels in heaven, not to think of the fools who are in his hell. In the Bible Revelation, it is written that you accept the enemy and go down in a lake of fire with him. Read the fallen passage of your Bible will dwell on the time of yourself. America. The American white people are more concerned today about mistreating the black one slave of America. America is concerned with any nation on earth that is attacking her outlying posts. Enemies are intensifying the attack on her. America right out of the frying pan into the fire all over there due to her evil intention against the loyal black once slaves. A talk of evil doing against the black one slave in America is worse than it is against independent nations that they are trying to attack and destroy her countries. Why America have more hatred for the black one slave and her millers who are faithfully fighting on the frying line to help her against her enemies than she is against the enemies that they are shooting down. Why America talks of building concentration camps, prison house for the black slave, the black man in America. I'm told that America already have concentration camps built for this purpose. Concentration camps are jailhouses, prison houses. That's why I cry day and night to my black brothers to seek refuge in Allah, God, in such a time as this. The Muslim do not have to worry about any such imprisonment. For a Muslim is already a citizen of the Nation of Islam, and we have our own people, Muslim, to deliver us by the order of God. This is why it's so necessary that the black man in America accept Allah, God, in his names, and get out of the names of the enemy, white slave master, who does not seek to bring about peace for us. The enemy seeks to bring about our death. Why America want her black one slave to suffer that which is not due to the black one slave. The black one slave has not sinned, nor has the black one slave attacked other nations, except under the orders of their white slave masters. Independence Day. Who independency since 1776? You black men have been worshiping the 4th of July, along with the real authors of the 4th of July. The white man as a day of independency for himself. It is the white slave master and his children who enjoy setting forth the 4th of July as the day of rejoicing over achieving this country of independency from any other foreign source. Now, the history of the 4th of July shows that it is the Independence Day of the American white man that wrote their Declaration of Independence for themselves. See, the white man have not put anything in the Declaration of the Independence of the benefits of the black man who was the servitude slave of the white man at that time. The joy with the black slave experienced on these holidays of the white man was due to the black man getting rest from his labor, and a day which the white man has set aside for celebration. That is all the black slave will be rejoicing over, that he did not have to work that day. But you are free now. You do not need this for an excuse for your worship of the 4th of July. There is no further need for us to worship the ganging of the white man's independence. Let us take a look again at our own black independence and how it came on this same day of the 4th of July at the coming of Allah God, came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, whom praise are due forever, on July 4th, 1930. And coming to us of the Independence Day, we see of the white man is very great. It is their day of rejoicing, as with former people and the governments. The destruction took place when it was at the heights of their rejoicing. See, the kings, according to the Bible history of him, we see Daniel chapter 4 walking around in his palace and proudly looking around and admiring the skills, the work he has set up. and says that not all this my hands have made. Excuse me. The Bible teaches us that while the word was in his mouth, you see the end came. Allah God changed his mind and heart from that of a civilized man to a mind and heart of a beast. See, he had the brain reaction of a wild beast. He was cast out among the dung. Now, what does that signify? It gives us a gleam into the history of this white man is being cast out of society of the Muslims 6,000 years ago after he was made and then started trouble amongst the people of righteousness. See, troublemaking caused the white man into the heel and cave size of West Asia, as Europe was called at that time. So Allah God taught me. The name was changed to Europe after a white man was cast into that area. See, Europe means a place where people are bound in to keep them out of society of the righteous. Moses made the white man as the independent race through the guidance which Allah God gave Moses to guide the white man out of his savage cage life and put him on the road of conquest of the black man. For 400 years, the white man swallowed us up, the black man of America. He did not put us in a hole of the earth, but he swallowed us up by keeping anything like wisdom from coming to us. He set a bound against our own black people visiting us in order to prevent them from teaching us anything than what the white man was teaching our black slave fathers. See, this cage us in and made just as secure a cage as the literal cage of Europe that the Arab people put the white man in 6,000 years ago. The 4th of July is a day of rejoicing of the white man over his opponents. For the Western Hemisphere, he wrote his constitution for his own white people and not for the black slave. Since this is his day which he has set aside for himself, and what part black brothers do you have in this day? Your part is not mixed with his part in the way of his own white politics and fiscal independency. As I call your attention to proud King history and what happened to him at the heights of his king. Allah God never destroyed powerful people, nor deprived them of self-independency when they was in trouble or when they were sick with grief. He made them to feel happy. He made them think that they would live forever. So it was with the coming of Allah God and the person of Master Fala Muhammad, whom praise are due forever, on his coming to us on the 4th of July, 1930. His presidency meant the destruction of the independency of the white race, especially of America over the black man. Allah God visit the black slave, for he is more in need of help to enjoy freedom itself. Since Allah God came for the purpose of bringing self-independency to the black slave, then his going forth is with justice, we see. The Bible, Revelation 19, verse 11. To show Allah God's greatness and power over their slave master and his people. Now Allah God attacks them at the heights of their civilization and at the greatness of his power and strength on the 4th of July, while they worship the greatness and accomplishments. And the black slave is sitting at his feet. As it was with the kings, as it was with Pharaoh, we see the same as being repeated today. This is Allah God coming on the 4th of July for 400 years. We have been suffering under the pledge of servitude, slavery, and at the relentless hands of this white slave master over us. Allah God came to give justice and freedom to us and to make us equal members in society of a new, powerful, strong, wise people of the earth. Ever since that day, we see the 4th of July, 1930 had meant the doom of American domination over the black man of America and the black people of the earth. Ever since that day, we see America is falling. America fall is now going on. America refused to break her fall when she could have broken her fall, as the Bible teaches us. Babylon could have been healed, but she was not healed. Jeremiah 51:9. She did not do anything to want such forgiveness. America had been offered a chance for forgiveness, but she refused to accept it, for she never offered to do anything favorable towards a black slave that would make them free of her power to rule them. Black slave went to the death fighting enemy of the white slave master to help America to maintain her independence against foreign dominancy. The black slave was not given anything in exchange for his sacrifice. When a dog hunt for a hunter, the hunter master would sometimes share a part of the game with the dog. The black slave have helped his master to overcome, to put other people under control of his white slave master. The black slave have fought and died around the earth to help this white slave master to conquer those whom the master called his enemy. See, we helped this white man to conquer Cuba and to overcome and subdue Mexico and the Philippine Islands and other places around the earth. Also Japan. How many lives did this black man lose in the Pacific while helping this white man to conquer people of Japan? Or are the brown half owners of the black man? See, the brown race and the yellow race are the half brothers of the black man. Who independency? Now the white man and the black man are both free on this day. The coming of Allah God on this day means the freedom of the black man too. The clear of Allah God coming on this day shows the great wisdom of Allah God. Everywhere this white man may be, even in Europe, the earth belongs to the black man. Let us rejoice on this day, the 4th of July, and the coming of Allah came in the person of Master Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, and give thanks to him. Let us enjoy the independence he has brought to us, the freedom, justice, and equality. He brought these things to us not by killing off the red Indians nor any original settler. See, justice and righteousness are used by Allah God. Independence Day. Independence means to be free of the dominancy of others. It's a very happy feeling for one to enjoy self-freedom. The white race in the Western Hemisphere takes this day, July 4th, 1972, to be a day to worship and remembrance of the achieving independence from other people. See, y'all gotta remember, man, what happened in 1776, man. The white man took the Independence Day and took it and celebrated, while y'all thought that just because you didn't have to work on the 4th of July, you was getting rest. See, man, they took this day to celebrate the joy of independence of others, man. See, if I was to tell you white race don't have a permanent home, they don't have a permanent future. They don't have a future for themselves, man. What makes you think you have a future in America, man? Some of y'all get on here talking about, well, you talking religious and politics. Man, this is important for us to know what's at stake here. If she don't have a home, what makes you think you have a home here? Because at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, we are standing in the crossfire. And 99% of us may not know it. And whatever evil spooner ready to do their worst, make it difficult for the 99% ignorant to ever know what's at stake here. See, God is coming. He's like sharper than any double-edged sword. He's capable of hearing what they say. See, they may be planning, but God too is planning. See, a deliverer has come. You should be thankful that a deliverer has come. Ever since the devil, 6,000 years he's been here, there's been one war after another. But now God is coming to intervene. A deliverer has come to save us. Because this white race in the Western Hemisphere have to conquer the Indians who have the independent claim on the country now called America. Then we see this white race in America cut off the ties of England and France and became the independent holder. of the present country called America and the Western Hemisphere. The white race was not satisfied with owning a new country to itself. They wanted the country built up, but the white race was afraid to trust himself to build the country up. So he goes to other countries that was civilized, uncivilized. Africa. For Africa, he took our people as slaves and used us for our labor purpose. Now, the white race have achieved those desires. And now we have the glorious things that man could enjoy, freedom. See, the country of America cannot be said to be the white man's own, but with having the freedom and the power to overcome the native Indians of this country, the white race in America takes this day of July 4th to celebrate the joy of independence of others. As thou hast done, so shall be done to you. Someone is about to take away your joyful independence. See, this white race here in America have done the worst to the black people, who have helped this white man to build up the country of America and to make it suitable and to bring this joyful independence. But the white race in America have angered God due to the evil done to us after 400 years. Here, under this white race, the white race still desired to mistreat and to kill us all day long. See, this white man hates his black slave, while the black slave should be hating the white man for mistreating this black slave. But the white man makes the black slave to love him so well that when the white man mistreats him, the black slave will not dislike this white man for mistreating him. Now the time of God has arrived, the time that Allah God must separate the black slave and his white slave master and to bring freedom to the black slave. So we see the power of our enemies being broken by God and destroying the power of the white man powers to maintain his trade over the whole world. Independence is fine if we can keep it and maintain independence, but there's a dark cloud of trouble now springing over the country of America. The dark cloud makes so once freedom of thought and action become instead a freedom of death, hell, and destruction. It is awful to look over the things of evil and the trouble that are coming upon the glorified North America. The poor black slave numbered now into tens of millions of black people never knew anything of the joy of freedom because this victorious enemy, like a young lion, as Daniel gives it in the Bible, he had made the black slave a prey to all of this white man wicked desires. Now, what do we have to celebrate in the fact that the white man is enjoying freedom over us and celebrate this white man's independence? We make a fool out of ourselves. We cannot celebrate his day. Only time that we, the black people, have a day to worship and able to call a day our day of freedom is when we are free from this white America and free from any other nation and become independent, some of this earth that we can call home. That we can say that this is a holiday for us and a freedom day. Black sisters and black brothers, let us unite and get together and try to go from that what binds us to others. How many of you going to remain with this white man, even though he gives you a position? See, you got to flee from this devil far. Because pretty soon he's going to offer you his kingdom. You see, he's going to give you everything if you accept it. We see the slavery in Alabama and Mississippi. See, this white man, trichinoly, is always being trumpeted to the world that they are peace lovers, as though they want all people, as they falsely claim, to be free, to live in peace, while they are sitting on and crushing between 20 and 30 million black people in America, who, as they served to slaves 100 years ago. Now, for 100 years, slave master children falsely claim that they are free and that they are trying to treat us as free people. You're not free. You think you're free. Go on and enjoy yourself. Be free now. Be free. You know, why would Trump set these executive orders on police force to get us killed at any price. See, when you got a black, police officers, and you got white police officers, and black policemen will work with white policemen. But when you really got a white police officer in a black and white uniform patrolling the streets, that badge you think represent his duty in the line of the citizens, people, no matter what creed. But he always patrolling 24 hours, you see, 7 days a week. He's working overtime. And he see a helpless Negro going through the air in his car and would say, let's get that nigga. But you see, this shows cowardice going against the black man ever since we've been here. So Psalms chapter 10, verse 8, he sat in the lurching places of the village, in the secret place. Do he murder the innocents? His eyes are set against the poor. He goes after that one helpless victim. This shows cowardice ever since we've been here. Now, you see, these black people work very hard now, with very small pay in the South. It is said by some that the salary range from 25 cents a day to $2.50 a week. Rough clothes to work in are furnished to them. This kind of slave labor goes on through the generations. One generation after another is subject to this slave way of life, what is called free world, in order to keep these black people in this type of slavery. See, the owner had mounted a guard patrolling the plantations with a gun lying across his lap and a saddle on his horse. See that there is no black interference from outside to entice the enslaved black on the inside of his plantation to come in a better area for better wages. These people grow up there and they die there on the plantation. Some of them never know civilization. These people grow up there and they die there on the plantation. Some of them never knew civilization. They are satisfied because they know another life but the slave life that the fathers and grandfathers have been living on. This is right in the South. Our people are living in the worst conditions. Places boarded up, stinking. Children you see are coming up suffering from malnutrition, all behind this wicked devil that he can do all the ill he can. You should see how they treat black people when they get their mail. As you see the postal carriers bringing all their mail to other doors as he doing something for them. You're right in the South. Black people are being treated with the worst treatment ever according to human beings. So we hear this kind of slavery goes on not only in the country of Alabama, but in other states such as Mississippi and Georgia. So after 400 years, you see in the Richelieu district, the sunburnt, kemp mouth, tobacco juice mouth, blue-eyed devils are plunking our people down to such slavery condition. You see, crushing us to death and diseasing us. And that's why I said children today are coming up suffering from malnutrition. You see, a year ago, brothers, when I was a young man in Georgia, I heard that such slavery on these large plantation was going on in certain areas in Georgia. And people go to the farm there, and a poor man probably owns another white farmer. And this white farmer pays the debit that he owns the other white farmer. And then the black man becomes slave to balance of his and his family life. On the plantation of this white man who paid the debit to a previous white plantation owner. As long As he lived, he never pays that debit. See, this is the worst injustice and the most cruel slavery of all. They are shot, killed, beaten to death if they are found trying to leave the plantation. The right owners make other blacks of the same plantation under fear of being informers of what is said and planned by the blacks. It has been told to me in my young life that Satane Rivers Lake and Wilderness like place carrying the bones and skulls of many black slaves from these plantations in so-called freedom times in the age of slavery by the laws of this government and the world. But in these southern states where Miss George Wallace was running for president, he could make every black man and woman in the South vote for him under fear. These black people are afraid to disobey white people in high office, or even an old white farmer who is hardly able to buy himself a new overall suit. The black people in the South have been brought up for many years and for centuries to fear white people, where there is no freedom or chance to get out among free people. The black people become the most ignorant and the most terrifying people are white that there are in the country of America. And the white man knows this. He gets rich. He builds himself a fine, luxurious home on a plantation. As far as he can see, claim that the land is his. And the poor slaves are living in the worst stocks. When the rain comes, some of them have to go to their walls of the house with piles to catch the rain, coming coming through they almost open roofs. When winter comes, they are setting up to their fireplaces trying to keep warm. These are the worst living conditions of human being that could even be in a jungle Africa where they do not have sawmill, bricks, kins to saw timbers into limbers, into mold bricks. America have everything necessary to make her slave a good warm home, cold home, and to give her slave a good living wage, because our fathers for 400 years have already supplied the wealth for us today to be given good substantial wages for our necessary life. Now, it is pitiful to go into these southern areas we see out in this ritual district and see how after this 400 years, the wicked sunburned, killed, no tobacco, juice, mouth, blue eye devils are plunking our people down to such slavery condition, crushing them to death and diseasing them. The children are coming up suffering today from malnutrition. Fevers and other disease capture them and take them to their pine box grave or to the hole in the ground in the South without anything like honor or their death. They are buried in rough pine wooden boxes. He said, "You are reading from a 1800 book newspaper." Man, look, there's 72 people on here though. No matter what I'm reading from back in the day, it's still happening. And see, if it's white people on here, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not a person to be like, oh, y'all go somewhere else. See, I'm informing everyone. It's the reason why people are on this live today, man, because I'm informing everyone here. See, I got weight with God. And I can tell you that the term has already come. And I can tell you that this devil don't care about you. He don't care about his own people, man. Y'all, see, I love y'all. Y'all my people, man. It's the reason why y'all here, man. No matter what creed you are, but I'm going to tell you about this devil because he got to be stripped. And I can bet you sooner or later it's going to be y'all fighting against the government and world leaders because y'all going to be sick and tired. See, they setting us up for failure. Why you think God is coming in the neck of the woods, man? Vision. It's been a year therefore you see God's pleasure in America. Y'all had y'all live in luxury, have everything y'all want, everything y'all dream of. Why is God destroying that South Legion? You're gonna find out that FEMA ain't coming out. You're gonna find out insurance companies not gonna come out. And when all the food is taken out from the shelf and that, it's gonna start right in that South. It's gonna happen right there in the lower end of Egypt. 400 years of slavery, brothers and sisters. You gotta wake up. You gotta wake up today and seek refuge with God like never before. Like never before. Because the governments have failed you. Christianity have failed you. What hope do you have today? It's to seek refuge in God in such a time as this. See, the black man of America is so mistreated, you see, by his 400-year-old slave master and his children that you just cannot describe any other mistreatment of human beings to equal the evil and ill treatment that the black man has and still suffer in America today. In many towns we see cities or their southern states and even their capitals. You'll find this black man living in a very bad condition. His toilet, sometimes open boarded, place stinking right there in the city, diseasing the citizens because that evil demon, the white man who wants to give all the ill he can to a people who have served him as slave for 400 years. This is going on in the South. Go see it for yourself. The U.S. mail comes to these countries and towns and cities. In some places, the black people are forced to walk to a drugstore and ask a white drugstore owner for their mail. Then they are treated like dogs, as though the devil is giving him something free, while the senders of the mail have paid the tax for the postal carriers to bring it to the doors. See, little black children are walking around with sore pus, running out of them for the lack of medical attentions. Little black children are dying of disease right in this false freedom of this old USA. The black people are cowered down by this victorious enemy who keep his gun loaded to blow them down. An epi, happy, one-sided, round mouth policeman or sheriff is seeking just a slightest chance to kill a nigger. He only had to say to his brother devil judge that he had to kill a nigger. And the judge look at him and give him a big smile and a hand clap as though he did not kill enough. Now you are to kill all of them. See, I heard from their mouth when I lived in the South that there was too many Negroes in the South and the white people should kill all some of them. There are more Negroes than white, and a white man should kill off some of them. Now, what chance does this black man have under the shadow of American governments for freedom, justice, and equality? I thank Allah and the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, who have come to deliver the black man in America and to kill their oppressors. And see, this is why I always tell you guys, I want to inform you guys that God allowed Trump to be president. He could be the last president running. But I'm going to tell you something. Don't come running to us when disaster fall on America, because he can't turn the country around to make America great. See, the thing of it is, as you guys vote for these people, as y'all cast your vote for these people, nothing will change. because it's not never in their desire in their hearts. You see, when it's not in their hearts to change. See when they can't do one basic principle. See, nothing comes here for the black people because he's going to continue to hold on to his possession, his concession, his merchandise that he has plotted out under the nose and eyes and ears of the original owners, man. See, he's willing to go the distance. He's willing to shed blood, and this means bloodshed. And I said the country can never be said to be the white man's own after conquering from the native Indians. See, I'm going to say this to you. At some point, they're going to have to pack up and concentrate on that continent in Europe, or else concentrate on their death instead of their life. See, they can no longer rule the black man here in America. See, in poor little East Asia, it's going to be standing for. She's going to have to decide, because East Asia ain't going to want to have nothing to do. So she's going to have to decide to make good this day. But I say this as the scientist says, many people think it's too late. Because what coming on her nation? See, this is very good. And we should be shouting day and night that a deliverer has come. Now the revelation of the Bible has given his people the right name, a beast now. And the most vigorous description gave the revelation. We see Daniel in the Bible. This people is described as a beast rising up out of the sea with 3 ribs of a man in his mouth. This is the description of America with the black slaves swallowed for 3 centuries and the power of our enemies, the devil. See, this is the description in Daniel 5:7 that it was a very well-known beast that was to rise out from the sea. And from the sea, he had 3 ribs in his mouth, meaning that you was swallowed for 3 centuries here, ever since the devil been here. See, the black man of the South today will be a fool to vote for any white man of the South to rule him. Now he should stay away from the poll, because this white man for whom he vote is an enemy of his. Is bound to tighten the shackles tighter than ever. They preach or enforcing a law. And that law is unjust law directed against the black man. Vote for Allah and for his servant Elijah Muhammad, and by the power of Allah, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. All the prophecy of the Bible, what he would do in freeing the black man of America, will be fulfilled. Let us submit to him and live in peace with money and good homes, and with the friendship of God and the righteous. There is nothing that you have to fear today but God himself. But it's useless for us to fear our enemies at the coming and presence of our God, who has power over the very atom of life. For fear of this white man that have caused our people to eat the fire of hell with the white man, if they do not recognize the fact that it's God whom they should fear and not the devil. The world of the white man is now crumbling, coming to nothing. The safety of the black man is his God, as the Holy Quran teach us. In this day and time, seek refuge in Allah, the God of the black man. He is the only place of refuge. We made America one of the richest and strongest people on earth. Her mighty navies command the high seas with her undersea cliff crawling on the bottom of the ocean, carrying deadly weapons to surface and pour out on towns and cities other than America, and will listen to device set up throughout the earth, on land, sea, and the air, to listen to see what people are saying about her and planning against her, knowing she is guilty today and deserving death, and that she should be taken and destroyed. She had prepared to put up a mighty battle, but Allah God too had prepared, and He's the best prepared, knowing their thoughts before they was ever made. They have not the slightest chance today against the power of Allah, and it's working against them, even through the force of nature. The white race had been disgracing the entire black nation of the earth. See, Africa is suffering under the same wicked power of this white race and having an awful time trying to rid herself of such a demon. She would do so, and soon. Here in America, Almighty Allah God wants to make Himself known with both the punishment, instruction, this mighty, powerful, rich people. Fear not, my dear black people, for we have Allah with us. He is a mighty and a strong and the most powerful one to be feared. Come follow me, and I'll lead you to your starvation. Alabama. We see, according to an article in November 25th, 1969 issue of the Wall Street, written by Mr. Neil Maxwell, staff reporter, according to report of our farmer, Muslim property lives are being attacked by a devil, Miss James H. Bishop, called himself a missionary. He had started attacking us for a fight. The Muslims have lost a couple of heads of cattle by gunshots penetrated by some cowards, according to report of Mr. Neil Maxwell. See, this demon, Miss James H. Bishop, seeks to bring himself and the American people into a war with Allah and the righteous, which will be the end of America and our people. We the Muslims are a people of peace and have and are proving ourselves to be just that all over America. Of course, this demon, Miss James H. Bishop, proving himself to be just what he is made to be, a mischief maker. As God, who came in the person of Master Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that he is. And I warned this troublemaker that he is playing with fire, and a very hot fire, where he is not attacking Elijah Muhammad and his followers, but he is attacking Allah God, who welcomes the attack. For this is what he came for. And sure as Allah God live, we will convert every black man in America to his or her own. This includes those in Alabama. Look at the Muslim condition in Alabama. We went there to buy a piece of land from a citizen in Alabama. Then some white enemy appears who called himself a preacher of the gospel of Jesus. But he did not forget to preach the gospel of the devil along with it. This devil, Miss Bishop, we hired him when we first went to the farm in Alabama. He worked for us on the farm, digging holes to help us to get set up on the farm. At that time, he said nothing to us in a way of charging us with being there illegally. Why did he hire out to us? Why did he help us to get started on our farm? See, we hired him and paid him for his work. There is no talk from him in the matter in which he is talking now. So this man had now turned to be a real open enemy and not a secret enemy. He even goes so far now to even talk of killing us and asking us for a fight. We are losing cattle from bullet wounds, and he is speaking in direction, even destroying our property and cattle. He even makes it hard for us to buy gasoline. And the most ignorant and worst thing is that the gas attendant sell us the gasoline, and then we are arrested and charged with a crime for buying the gasoline instead of charging the man who sold it to us. It is very ignorant today and silly. If we have bought lands and cattle in Alabama, it means to get the profit out of what we bought. If the government in Alabama intends to drive us out from our properties, they will have to buy us out, not drive us out. If the government in Alabama is in agreement with the white people in Alabama and what they are doing against the Muslims, then I want to say to the whole white America that we have Allah God on our side to retaliate against anyone who mistreat us. We did not go down there with rifles and guns to shoot anyone. We are Muslims and a brother of Muslims. If we are not accepted by our brother Muslim, we must certainly have been accepted by the God of Islam, Allah, whose proper name is Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, who came to us without observation, as it is written of him. However, he makes his work manifest. The Nation of Islam idea, again, is to build better countries, homes for the black people. I said to the whole American white people that you can never win against anyone outside or inside of America as long as you seek to mistreat us. As it is written in the Bible, he who contains with us, Allah God contain with him and give him their blood to drink like sweet wine. So remember, we are the people of Allah God. We make no trouble with anyone, but Allah God retaliate against anyone who makes trouble for us, who seeks to do us harm. The decline of the dollar, the stronghold we see of the American governments is falling to pieces today. She had lost amongst the nations of the earth. One of the greatest power of America was her dollar. The loss of such power will bring any nation to weakness, for this is the media of exchange between a nation. The English pound and the American dollar have been the power of the beckoning light of these two great powers. But when the world went off, the gold and silver standards, the financial doom of America and England was sealed. The pound had lost 50% of its value. American dollar had lost everything now as power backing for a currency which was once backed by gold. From every $5 note up, all of her currency was backed by silver from a dollar note up. But today, the currency of America is not backed by any sound value, silver or gold. The notes today is something that the government declared that they would not give you the value in return, but does not name what that value is. But they definitely are not backing a currency with silver or gold. This is the number one fault. It is very clear that the loss of the power of American dollar means the loss of the financial power of America. What will happen since there is no sound backing from our notes? We do not know. What should we expect even in the 12 months under the fall of the power of American dollar? This means that we have 100% deflation. What could happen under 100% deflations? Your guess is as good as mine. The power of gold and silver was once abounded in America, but the touch of the finger of God against the power of so mighty a nation and now caused the crumbling and fall of America. We can easily and truthfully liken the fall of America to the prophet picture given in the Bible. We see the Revelation of John 18, verse 2. The name Babylon used there does not really says whether it is ancient Babylon or a future of some of Babylon. The description it gives as follows we see. He, the angel, cried mightily with a strong voice, with authority, saying, Babylon, the America, the great is fallen, and become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. The description here gives to Babylon by the prophet compares with the present history and people of America and their fall. The picture shows the cause of her fall. See, number one, she has become the habitation of devils. And being the habitation of devils make her a haven for every people that love the work and doing of the devil. Here the prophet refers to them as being a hold of every foul spirit and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. People referred to as birds, snakes, beasts, fish, and other animals to tell or represent the characteristics of that person. It is universally known that the very beginning of American people was from the lower class or European people. And their first ruler, President Washington, was a fugitive from England, and the common dissatisfied and lower grades European people follow and boasted authority. This field inhabitant America with a very low class and low base people. So England and Germany are the most wicked of the right race people. Then this type we see of people went into Africa, purchased slaves for amongst our people who were also uneducated, most of them. But there was a few who was highly educated. All of these began to mix with these lower base, evil mind, will citizens of the Western Hemisphere, whites. And when this white man began to get strong in power, he opened her doors to the unprivileged laborers in overpopulated countries such as China, Japan, and Europe to seek citizenship in America. This brought into America one of the most mixed people who was granted the freedom to live any kind of life they choose. It was not forced to serve the God of the universe who made heaven and earth, nor any religion. They have freedom of worship. This make America a haven for any people who wish to be free of the competitors of religious and just rule and authority. This people for the past 500 years have put into practice every evil that is imaginable. The freedom of uncleanness is granted in its worship. The percentage of sexual worship of the same sex is greater than any government on the face of the earth. Little children are being taught sex almost from the cradle, making the whole nation, as one man put it, nearly 90% freak of nature. It is common to see on the streets of any metropolitan city of America. We see man sweethearted with man, woman sweethearted with woman, little boys with boys, little girls with girls. It is common that a decent family is puzzled as to where to send their children for school. There are no girls' schools as they once before. We see today there are all girls' schools of sweethearts. See the same sex falling upon their own. Boy college are breathing such filthy practice. Jailhouses, prisons, and even the federal penitentiaries, all breathing dozens of homosexuals. As the prophet says in the 18th chapter, she is a cage for every unclean and hateful bird. There are types of hateful birds. This is why a name is given. It means human beings. There are birds of prey and birds that are unclean, such as crows, owls, blizzards, ravens, who live and thrive off the carcass of others. There are unclean people living and thriving off the unclean. It is time that God intervened to bring about an end of such people as the wicked of America. She offered the same filth to all the civilized of the earth, and she hates you if you are against her way of life, and will threaten you with death as the Starmites did Lot and his followers. But I said to you, as the fourth verse of the Revelation 18 says, you that want to be a better people than this, come out of her. The so-called American nigger are referred to here in the fourth verse as being God's people. My people, come out of her, that you be not partaker of her sins, and that you receive not of her pledge. This is a call to the American so-called nation to give up a doomed, wicked people that have destroyed them from being a people worthy of recognition, and who have now become lovers of their enemies and destroyer. The fifth verse tells us that her sins have reached into heaven. God have remembered her sins and is ready to destroy her. Her destruction comes quickly according to the eighth verse that we see that pledge, death, mourning, famine, which come in one day, 1 year, and after that she shall be destroyed by fire, burned. This is backed up in these words. Strong is the Lord God who judges her. Here it gives us a knowledge that he who judges is well able, with power, wisdom enough, to make judgment against her. The destruction of America education. The pledge of our Lord God against this educational system of America is something that the philosophers and scientists should look into, as the destruction of American education is the destruction of the wisdom to educate the people. There are many who look on instruction without taking a second thought of destruction of American education. Education is a guide for the people to keep and maintain a civilized life. It is education that civilized us. Now to see the citizens of America rebelling against the American educational system is something that the rise of the wise should take thought of. The American people actually have come to a point where they hate their own educational system. This means that they are now hating and destroying their civilization because it is education that civilized people. The American people no longer want the education, and they are destroying the very houses that house their textbooks of education. They are rebelling against their teachers who teach education. They are fighting their teachers, and then they set their houses on fire, schools, colleges, and universities. This means in words, as I have said above, that they are destroying their own civilizations. Excuse me. Now, the American people no longer want the education, and they are destroying the very houses that house the textbooks of education. They are rebelling against their teachers who teach education. They are fighting their teachers, and then they set their house on fire. We see schools, colleges, and universities. This means, in words I had, as I said above, that they are destroying their own civilization. Now, what do they care about the people who are in the mud? Because when they don't care about democracy, see, it's like Samson. The story of Samson, he did not care whether there be a building left behind. He wanted to get even with his mockers. He didn't care whether there be a civilization left behind. See, he was willing to get even with his mockers, his accusers. So we see when they are fighting their teachers, and then they set their houses on fire, schools, colleges, and universities. Why? Because the students, they don't want this old world. It's a new world that they want. So we see in their madness, this is why they setting the schools on fires. This is why the teachers are in danger. See, this means in words, as I have said above, that they are destroying their own civilizations. See, the black people today who are blindly helping this white people to destroy the civilization are like Samson was in his day and time. He helped to pull the buildings down, but he was blind to the fact of the destruction of the buildings. See, all Samson wanted to do was to get even with his mockers who had put out his eyes and laughed at him. See, Samson did not care whether there be a civilization left behind him or not. He was willing to die blind to the knowledge of the future of his people and those people he was destroying. Throughout America, we see her colleges, her universities, and her teachers are in danger. See, the students no longer want an old world guidance. See, it's a new world that they want. But in their mad destruction of the old world, they do not know how to prepare for a new world civilization. They do not have guidance for a new civilization. And in madness, they refuse to hear a teacher teaching of an educational system of a better civilization of the black man. The wisdom of the educational system of the black man of the earth has never been known to this world because the black man was put to sleep in order to let this world white man try itself at ruling. Now the rule of this world have been found to be dissatisfying, and the dissatisfaction is 100%. Allah God has come to take over and to guide other people and to setting up a better educational system for the people of whom himself is the head. We'll all get guidance from him, as Daniel said in his prophecy. And God will set up a kingdom, and he will not lead into the hands of others, but he himself will guide it. But first, he must remove all this rubbish of this white man world educational system. He discarded America's educational system as we discard rubbish could be burnt up. The black man who hears the teaching of Islam feel proud that he had been taught something that he had wished for all his life. But the average black man that hears does not accept it as he should. He accepts it in such a way that he can be criticized and mocked, for he wants to take a piece of it as he had done in the past. He run away with it, claiming that he knows this. He would try to set up something of his own from a few words of it. This stole the black man behind. You see, they do this through envy, jealousy, and proudness on the parts of the person. This is the way the black man of America is divided. The devil knows that the black man is proud and envious. See, the white man helps him to be this way, but the black man will never get any place to himself. The black man takes such steps to divide himself up. See, look how the devil is teaching our people division now. The devil goes and get everyone who can think for the black people to allies them. Look how he named streets after Reverend Martin King and Malcolm, because he was the devil's disciple. See, Reverend Martin King was not disciple of the black man. He preached integration with white people and become white folks. And then the white man killed him. See, the white man does the same to you, although you follow what this white man tells you to follow, and you worship the white man. See, many times I have reminded you that Reverend Martin King was not trying to separate you from the enemy, but instead he was trying to unite you with the enemy. See, Reverend Martin King was not seeking a home for you as Moses was seeking a home for Israel, who is opposed in Egypt. In the modern day America, I am seeking an independent home for you. See, Reverend Martin King did not do this. See, Reverend Martin King taught you to submit to the white man and become one of them. All of your life, you have known that this is destruction and the so-called freedom. It is the same as the dog returned to his vomit. See, the black man was vomiting out of the white man, and now he goes back to the enemy. See, when the black man was vomiting out of the white man, now he want to go back to this white man. See, the white man is right when he says that you are free. You are free, but if you go back to him for him to put the chain on you again, he will do so. See, Malcolm flew out from us as hypocrites. He went and joined white people and worshiped them and got what he preached for. Now this white man named colleges after Malcolm only to get you to join in the philosophy which he left behind, that white people are good. See, Malcolm went to Mecca, saw white people. Instead of joining in the black man, he joined in with the white man, although he was taught the white man birth and death. He preached it as long as he did not turn the enemy against me. He turned the enemy against me, for he wanted my place over the people. He thought by going over the earth and making a mock of me, he would do just that to get rid of me. But the very people of Mecca and Egypt, other places he went, they are with me today. Here in the United States of America today, I have more followers than I had before Malcolm said a word. You cannot disgrace one whom Allah God has taken from his friend, for he has the power to keep your disgrace to nothing. The white man teach you to worship Malcolm in order to lead you astray against me. You come around trying to argue with us. I do not give 2 cents for you follow Malcolm. If you want to follow him, you will get divine death and destruction, with no one to give you any honor and respect, only the devil whom you serve. See, the devil set enemies and hypocrites for you worship, in order to pull you away from me. You know that you will be a fool to follow the enemies and hypocrites, but that is to turn you away from your starvation, which I'm preaching. You cannot prosper fighting against me. For Allah God is not with you. He is with me. It does not matter how many devils you have with you. You can have a world full of devils, but that will not amount to anything. Show how anxious you are to get what this devil offer you for following his guidance. Allah God came to put an end to the enemy, the devil, and their powers to rule. This you will learn. I am not without power from Allah God. By any means, regardless to whether every one of you reject follow me. I mean the whole 30 million of you, that will not stop me or condemn me as being not able to lead you. You black people in America are no more than a small family. We have a world of black people that I can continue to teach, and they are so anxious for me to come and teach them. I gotta teach you the truth. It is immaterial to me whether or not you will believe and follow me. If all the little black organizations who are trying to do something for self will unite with me and make them complete body one, we will most certainly have starvation in our hands at once. If if all want to be like Christianity, with each one set aside and join his little part, and one day they'll lose their part. The destruction of America's educational system is the best thing that Allah God could do to get rid of that which we depend on for guidance. America's educational system has never benefited you and me, only to keep us slaves today to the white man. We the black people want an educational system that will bring us into unity as a man before Allah God. We want an educational system that we can read in the light of ancient and modern history. We want an educational system that will guide us through tomorrow, not an educational system that is dying today. What hope can you have in a world that is crushing and bursting as under as America is? Do you think that we will be here and that you will go back like you were before the war? I said, you wait and see. See, this is the end of white America. Allah God will destroy her for what she have done, because she is the most evil one of the right race. America is most evil than Europe. America is worse than her father England. She is worse than her people in Europe. Look what is going on at the present time, day and night. See, black America have no respect for you, nor for yourself or your women. Yet you desire America, civilization, still you want to destroy. Now, what do you want, my dear man? I think that you should first prepare to replace that which you are destroying. I advise you to unite with me and let us build a nation like a single house. A united force is always better than a divided one. I say unite with me, for I cannot unite with you, for you do not have anything for me to unite with you for. We have nothing but a chain carrying around that any wise, civilized man can take and bind you with continually. You may be able to wreck the whole America, but you have nothing to replace it with. Revenge is mine, said the Lord. I will repay. Look how he is repaying America with rain, snow, hail, earthquakes, fire. These can destroy America at once. But he bring her destruction upon her gradually. As the Holy Quran teach, Allah God bring the wicked into nothing, little by degree, when the wicked cannot perceive. Allah God came to give you better names that have a better meaning, a greater meaning, an eternal meaning. See, these names of Allah God live forever, but the names of the white man will not live forever. But Allah God offers you and me heaven at once, not heaven that you are dead. If we do not accept heaven, he can also put us in hell if we reject his help today. Remember, the destruction of America educational system means the doom of America. You are not left to wander aimlessly. The Holy Quran plainly teach you and me that Allah God will not lead you to wander aimlessly. Allah God has the aim and purpose to you and me. So come and follow me and learn the new education. For the black man is not designed for you, the black man and America alone. It is for the black people all over there. Take it or leave it. See, savagery of America, the great country of America and a great richness, great institutions, and her great towns, cities spread out like a blanket over the surface of the western hemisphere, where for tall buildings going upwards over 100 stories, the great architects and building engineers have become such experts at building to precise that makes the past history or 2 or 4 thousand years ago looks like child's play. Her lands is shadowed with rings of her many plains would cover almost like a cloud. The great wonderful works of scientists on earth and the air, and her great mighty fleets of floats on the highs, on the surface and below the surface. Her great scientific mechanical communication systems. Yet with all of this might of skills to engineering and building the country of America, display and practice more savagery than any civilized country on earth. And all of her educational institutions are not enough to make a man so intelligent and proud of his education and of being an American citizen that he will not practice the same savagery today. There is no such thing as law and order. The law is disregarded as though it was this stone in the jungle to be carried out by these savage beasts. We see murder, killing, and robbery, raping, drug addiction are the only law and order that is respected, you see. It has become such a country that the civilized man and intelligence and decency is afraid to walk the streets of these face towns and cities of America. He would be more secure in the jungle and around in the midst of these wild beasts than to be walking the streets in these great cities in America at the night. Groups of robbers, we see murder killers, dope addicts are patrolling the streets at the night to exact their evil attention upon innocents. This is a mob established that the intelligent and decent women should not dare venture out among. And if we see such women walking around, they are part of these savage people and have become dangerous even for the girl. And women to be standing alone in any unprotected place, day or night, rapists lurching around bus stations. Robbers, also thieves, are at such stations in which such condition existing in a so-called civilized country like America. This is the worst name that could be applied to her. Police, detective, FBI, all here. But these daring, savage acts are committed right before their eyes and ears. The dissatisfied. We are living in a time when the dissatisfaction is 100% throughout the world, a man and mankind. Therefore, we are living amongst the dissatisfied person daily and nightly. See, no one is satisfied though they may be righteous. They are not satisfied because they are living amongst unrighteousness. So the whole entire world of the wicked and the righteous is upset due to the dissatisfaction. The dissatisfied are gaining every day more and more amongst people when they hope to bring them to the same condition that they are in. Nothing is made so clear to the chief makers of the dissatisfaction. The black people in North America who are up from slavery are the targets of their white slave master children who wish to keep them here and deprive of their starvation if possible. The white man holds out promise to the black man only to deceive the black man. The white man fascinates the black man and tries to do that for the black man that the white man does not want to do. But nevertheless, he does these things in order to get his hold on a black one slave to go to the white man doom with him. The devil is an open enemy of the original black people of the earth. Temptation, the white man is tempting the black man all over the earth to take part with the white man in evil and filth. Here in America, if you will bear witness, sex talk is the topic. Conversation, 24 hours a day, on the radio, and television. These public broadcasts to the people contain some of the most filthy actions, some of the most filthy talks, and some of the most filthy things that we see on the screen than we ever dream of hearing from a neighbor, even in private, not to think of in public. We see this black man in America is on the radio 24 hours a day. The white man weighs the black people out in his filthy language of sex to see how many black people he can get to go to hell with the white man by restraining them with his sexual talk. The Holy Quran is 100% right. Read it and try to find something in there that is not true. If you think that you have found something, come to me and I will show you in the world that is the truth. The black man, this is the end of the rule of the white man. Allah God came to kill them for mistreating the black one slave here in America. Allah God said in Isaiah, the Bible, that he will kill our enemies and call us by another name. Black brother, this is going on right in your eye, but you still think that the time is belong to the distant future and that you will not live to see it. But I want to say to my brothers and sisters today that you are living in it now. You don't have to wait 20, 15 years. You don't have to even wait 10 years. The fall is within a few days. I'm talking about the next 2 years, you're going to see things that you never seen in your life. You're going to see things that you never seen in your life. And I promise you, you don't have long, brothers. Thinking that you have a long time can be the greatest mistake people can make. Days of Noah, you see, days a lot. So shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. See, no time passed with God. See, 1,000 years is merely like a day. And you see, a day is like 1,000 years. So the Lord is not slow in keeping his promise. And some count slowness, but he's going to be very patient towards you. Now wishing that any should perish, but that all should reach repentancy. So I want to say the scientists of America knows that America's on the way out. If the scientists is saying this, the scientists know that something gradually will approach Earth. I'm telling y'all, for what I know, you don't have long, about another year or two, you're going to see things that you've never seen that's going to approach Earth. I can promise you. The tsunamis, the Yellowstones, the earthquakes, things that you've never seen in your life. The coastal lands will be destroyed. Read the Bible, Ezekiel 26. It will be a terrified day. People will be terrified when you see the coastline. See, God's going to push the people into the center of the earth, and people are going to realize that this is God bringing her country toward nothing. Believe me. Because the scientists can tell you that America is on the way out. And since you black men are the righteous, perhaps all of you will be saved, for you are bound to submit when you see what is coming. Allah God will take you and me and call us after his own name, as I preach to you for years. As long as we go in the names of the white man, we are his people to serve him and go to his doom with him. The white man is stripping you of decent clothes to wear. Many of you will come out into the public, one half nude. This is making you shameless. You are doing something that you did not know you would be able to do, but it's in you that you would like to obey the devil and not obey Allah God, God of righteousness, truth, freedom, justice, and equality. It is shameful for you to sit and let your voice be heard on the radio and television answering these filthy questions that the white man is asking concerning your own personal self in the way that you think. The white man is only to try to choose you to go to hell with him. That the white man knows that there is no heaven for him. There will be a remnant now of them saved, but the majority are going down and are taking a fighting chance of it in a way deceiving you to go along with them. There's the reason both books we see, the Bible and Holy Quran, teach us not to let the arch deceivers deceive us. But the devil is doing it night and day. Why do you think he have these 24-hour talk shows talking amongst you and with you? If it's not to get you to agree with them so that you will go along with them to their doom. It's hate me, and a Muslim who follow me, but the hatred does not make any difference with us, just as Allah God does not hate us. The hatred goes for nothing if Allah God is not hating us. As it is written, he whom Allah befriends is not disgraced. Allah God has always backed up his people who are the righteous, and will believe in him from ancient time until this day. Fear not, lift up your heads, and the pride of truth, and love for you black man, the God of the black man. The dissatisfied must be removed from the satisfied of Allah God, and his people are the righteous. The law found black people in America have the greatest gift coming to them of any people who live in the past. They will have a new growth put into them, and they will be changed in a twinkling of an eye, as it is written in the Bible and the Holy Quran. This change will take place after Satan had been conquered and cast out of the earth amongst the black people to whom the white man is no kin.